Andariki namaskaramulu. Today is the second day of our classes on Kathopanishad by our Vice President, Sanatana Dharma, Veda Samskruti Samiti, Dr. Somanchi Visalakshi garu. We had 1.5 days of lectures before this, and today and tomorrow also we will have the same topic, that is Kathopanishad, and we are almost finishing the coursework on the first batch of level 2 certificate course on Sanatana Dharma. So far we have seen all topics like Vedas, Vedangas, Upanishads, Darshanas and Puranas, Dharma Shastras, Vedic mathematics and Sanatana Dharma, and also Panchangam. Now we are on Upanishad, that is Kathopanishad, and we will start the session with Vande Mataram and then Prarthana. So I will request Challa Chittibabu garu to recite Vande Mataram, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayajasitalam, Sasyasyaamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Subrajosna pulakitayamini, pullakusumita drumadala shobhini, suhasini, sumadhura bhashini, sukhadam varadam mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram. So, Ananthanji, please recite chant Prarthana.
Sarvebhyah Namaskara. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. 1 minute meditation. Let us close our eyes. Just watch the breath. Relax the body. Not to entertain any thought. My mind goes anywhere. Bring back the mind and watch the breath through the mind. Gణānāntva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavīnāmupamasravastamam Jayastarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashunvannotivisida Sadhanam Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Virvajinivati क्षीणामवित्यवतु वाग्देव्यै नमः गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरुः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ
ధన్యవాదములండి అనంతన్ గారు. Now before requesting Visalakshi garu to start the webinar, I want to again remind all of you that there is a practice test on 30th, that is day after tomorrow. No, on 30th is on Thursday morning after the classes, and 30th is what? 20. Today is 28th, day after tomorrow, only after the class. Okay, and now let us request Visalakshi garu to start the webinar, please.
ఓం శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ పార్వతీ రాజరాజేశ్వరాభ్యాం నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మేధా దక్షిణామూర్తయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మహాసరస్వత్యై నమః. ఓం శివాయ గురవే నమః. ఓం నమః శివాయై చ నమః శివాయ. ఓం నమః శివాయ. ఓం సహనావవతు సహనౌ భునక్తు సహ వీర్యం కరవావహై తేజస్వినావధీతమస్తు మా విద్విషావహై. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. ఓం నమో భగవతే వైవస్వతాయ మృత్యవే బ్రహ్మ విద్యా ఆచార్యాయ నచికేతసే చ. ఓం సదాశివ సమారంభాం వ్యాస శంకర మధ్యమాం అస్మదాచార్య పర్యంతం వందే గురు పరంపరాం. శంకరం శంకరాచార్యం కేశవం బాదరాయణం సూత్ర భాష్య కృతౌ వందే భగవంతౌ పునః పునః. Now yesterday I stopped where I said I will explain the meaning of words asha and pratiksha. So actually asha, we say normally in our Telugu and other languages also use the same word asha as the hope. Asha balavati raja, they say, because asha, the desire, the aspire to, with the feeling that we are going to get some pleasure, some happiness, some bliss. With that hope we get the power to overcome the difficulties or sorrows of life, whatever may be. So asha means the hope, the wish for a desire or desirable thing, which is known sometimes or which may not be known, which is unknown. Even to hope that we are going to get that is asha, but that is attainable. Asha. Pratiksha is expecting something that we already once attained, maybe once we already attained and lost, or maybe we are awaiting for that. So that which is attainable. Pratiksha, eduru chupu, we say we are waiting, awaiting for that. So the Tasha and Pratiksha will be destroyed if the guest stays first day in the Atithi's, that is in the Grihastha's house, without being honored. Atithya not given to him. So actually, we do not know whether Nachiketa came to Yamatharmaraja as the guest or as a disciple or as the Dakshina offered to Yamatharmaraja. In fact, he was offered as Dakshina only. So whatever Yama wants to do with Nachiketa, he can do. And Nachiketa asked his father, to whom you are giving, and then he said to Yama, it means he is offered as Dakshina only. So Dakshina belongs to the person who receives that. So because that person is not there at home when he went there, he awaited there because it is the utmost duty of Nachiketa to meet Yamatharmaraja first, because he belongs to him as he is given away as Dakshina. So whatever Yama wants to do, he can do with him. Now Yama was very much pleased with him. He considered this boy to be the guest and so honored him. So Nachiketa will not object to whatever Yama says. So because Yama asked him to choose 3 boons, he started asking all the boons one by one, and then he got. In fact, he did not go there as the disciple. If he has gone there as a Shishya, he would have gone taking the Samita, Samit Panihi we say. He did not go taking the Samithas along with him. So though he did not go there as a disciple, yet he has been treated by Yama as a disciple, and Yamatharmaraja taught him, gave him the utmost great knowledge, the Brahma Jnana and Atma Jnana. Actually, why Vajasrava sent his son, that we already discussed in the previous class, because he wanted to make his son get the Brahma Jnana through Yamatharmaraja, the best instructor of Atma Jnana. Actually, he wanted to, Vajasravas wanted to make his son clear that his son should know the difference between the actions done by a karmisti and by a jnani doing karmas appearing as if he is a karmisti. In fact, Vajasravas is not just the karmisti, only knowing the karmas and doing with the aspiration to gain worldly enjoyments and all. He is Brahmajnani and is doing his duties as he has to do for Loka Sangraha and all. So he wanted to send him to Nachiketa, as Vedavyasa Bhagavan aspired and sent his son Shuka Brahma, Sukha Maharshi, to learn Brahma Jnana from Janaka Rajarshi. So in the same manner he sent. So this boy thought that his father is not going to get Anandamaya Lokas, Anthata Misra Lokas he will get, because he is not donating the best type of cows, because he could not understand the inner meaning of all the cows. Seeing only the outward appearance, he thought like that. Even Upanishad says, Anthantamaha Pravishantiye Avidyam Upasate, those who worship Avidya. Avidya, there it is given as Upasanas, Karmakanda and all. So Avidyaya Mrityum Tirtva Vidyaya Amritam Ashnute is said in Isavasya Upanishad. So with Avidya, we have to cross the Mrityu, and then Vidyaya, by the knowledge we should get Brahma Jnana, the ultimate goal of our life. So in fact, all the karmas we do, they are Shastra Vihita karmas. Yajna Yagadi Kratus, to perform them is our duty at a lower level, at the first level. Then at the second level, doing karmas and Yajna Yagadi Kratus with the knowledge of Upasana, mixing them with Upasana, clubbing them. We can do that is second level. By that one can reach up to Hiranyagarbha Loka, the highest maximum peak, and after that is Parabrahman. So but by Jnana Marga one can reach, not reaching, he himself becomes Brahman, he gets the Vishwarupa as Shuka Maharshi got. So by this sort of, Nachiketa thought that his father performed all these yajna yaga, the karmas and all this Viswajit yaga, just simply reciting the Veda mantras in the place of instructing Brahma Jnana to others. He is doing all these rituals and all. That is the apoha, we say, sort of feeling which is existing in the mind of Nachiketas. So Vajasravas thought that his son should be made clear, he should be instructed properly about what is the difference between karma and jnana, and his son should become Brahma Jnani. With that aspiration, he sent there. Then this god of death also, actually, Vivaswan, he is called as Vaivasvata Yamatharma Raja. He did not say, just I am giving to Mrityu Devata. He did not give to Mrityu Devata to be dead. In fact, in our words, we say if a person is either given to Yama or taken by Yama, it means that that person is dead. It is not like that. The father did not give like that. He said he is giving as Dakshina to Vaivasvata Yama. Why Vaivasvata? Because Vivasvataha Apachyam Puman Vaivasvataha. The son of Vivaswan, that is sun god, is Vaivasvata. Sun god is Pratyaksha Paramatma to all the beings of this world, Bhuloka. And Surya Bhagavan is considered to be Parabrahman. He is considered to be the embodiment of Brahma Jnana. So he sent him there to Yama because he is Surya god, the sun god is Brahma Jnana Swarupa. Atma Vai Putra Namasi. Similarly, so this Yamatharma Raja is also perfect, is also having perfect Brahma Jnana. So the one who got this knowledge can impart that Jnana to his son. So with that intention, the father sent. Now Nachiketas thought that his father does not have Atma Bhava in these cows, because a Brahma Jnani or Atma Jnani, one who got Ekatva Darshana, should be able to see the self in the whole universe, in the whole creation, in each and every atom, animal, any living creature or himself. So what Nachiketa thought is his father is having only Dakshina Bhava, giving Dakshinas in the form of cows. But he is not having the feeling of Atma Bhavana. That is how he thought. But that is way to clear his doubts, his father sent him to Yama. Then actually Vajasravas donated such great cows as dakshinas to the Rutviks. If we know the inner meanings of all the words, Pitodakaha, Jekthatrunaha, Duktha, Dohaha, Nirindriyaha, these are the 4 words used there in that mantra sloka. Now actually what is meant by Pitodaka? Formerly we said Pitodaka means which have already drunk the water, so could not even able to drink the water, and all those we got the meanings. Now the real meaning we should see. Pitodakaha means which attracts the minds of the viewers. Those who see them, they will be attracted by these cows. Such great wonderful cows have been given as Dakshina. Pibati manaha iti pitaha. Pa piba means to drink. So Udakruti iti udakam. Undi is the root of the verb. So it means kledana, undi kledane, which swallows the dukkha. The cows which got the power to grasp and swallow and remove the dukkha of those who see them, and also the cows which are most attractive, such sort of cows are pitodaka. They are given as dakshina. So the cows which swallow the sorrow and shine with the knowledge and attract the minds, they are pitodakas. Then Jagtha Trunaha. Trunaha, through Tara we say to cross. Then through Trune means Achadana, covering. So Trunam Achadanam means those which have left with the feeling of the body is I. The body, the skin itself is the cover. Panchakosha Vivarana is to be done here to know this meaning. So if we go inner and inner, removing all the 5 sheets, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya koshas, then if we dig deep into the inner self Atma, then a person comes to know about that Brahman, the Atma, that is in existing inside all living creatures and the whole universe. So the cows which do not have this Dehatma Pranti are Jagtatranaha. So such great cows have been donated as Dakshina to the Rutviks. So which remove the Dehatma Pranti to those who worship these cows or who even have the sight of these cows. Such is the greatness of those cows. Then Dukkha Doha. Dukkha Doha means actually the milk is already milk, so they are no more capable of giving milk. That is the outer meaning which he thought. Normally everybody think. But here the inner meaning is Duha means Duha Prapurane, which showers immortality. Prapurana, Purana, Purti, that which fulfills, that which completely brings the totality, the completeness in the form of the milk. So the one who drink the milk of these cows, they get immortality. They become paripurna in their knowledge. So these cows are the embodiments of perfect knowledge. So such great cows have been donated. Now, Nirindriyaha, Nihi Indriyaha means we said formally the cows do not have the capacity of vigor in their sense organs, so they are unable to produce children. That is the cows. They do not have any power and they have a sort of barren. But here actually Nirindriya means which have left the Indriya dharmas. Though all the sense organs are fully intact, they all are very vigorous, very powerful. All the Indriyas function excellently. Even then, these cows have kept aside all the Indriyas, sense organs, and they are shining with the knowledge of self. That is, these cows have the self-control and they are shining as if they are Atma Swarupas. So, which have realized the self or the soul and kept the sense organs aside, even though they are there. So, Indriyas means those which have the capacity to procreate, but that which is not, that is Nirindriya, which have come come aside from doing this sort of Srishtikarya. That is, they are not interested in indulging such sort of Srishtikarya and all. So Vajasravas has donated such great cows to the Brahmins, the cows which do not have birth and death. These cows themselves are Atma Swarupas. They are like Brahma Jnana, embodiment of Brahma Jnana. Then Nirindriya does not mean that they have become aged and barren and all, but they have become Jnana Vruthas, old by Jnana, intellect, and then Atma Jnana. So, but Nachiketa saw outwardly and thought like that. So he wanted to protect his father by offering himself and all that story we know. Now Yamadharmaraja honored this boy as the guest and he saluted to this boy. Yamadharmaraja, he completely behaved with him as if Nachiketa came as a guest to his house in the embodiment, the fire in the embodiment of this boy, assuming the form of a boy, small Nachiketa, a few years old, 10, 12 years old boy. And he behaved with all the responsibilities as the host. So he honored him. He washed the feet of Nachiketa, sprinkled that Pavitra Jala over his head and on the heads of his wife and all attendants and everybody, ministers and all. And so and he offered 3 boons to select one by one. And also he said that by honoring this Nachiketa and by giving 3 boons to him, Nachiketa will get benefited and he will get swasti. Swasti means Shubha. And Yama also will get swasti, he said. Even I will get auspiciousness and swasti, because this guest, though stayed 3 days without eating and all, he is being satisfied now, will be satisfied completely. And Yama could know that by the very sight of the looking at this Nachiketa, he thought that Nachiketa is very much pleased by the darshana of Yamadharmaraja. So his mind is full of joy and happy and ananda. So when the guest is happy, automatically the auspiciousness comes to the host. So in that sense also, he said, I will get swasti to me. Then he says, Tisro Ratri Yadavasit Gruhe me Anashnen Brahman Atithir Namasyaha. Namaste astu Brahman Swasti te astu. Tasmat Priti Trin Varan Brunishva. So now Nachiketa started to ask the 3 boons one by one. He is so clever that in one boon, he asked many boons, nearly 3 boons, and even more points are there in that first boon itself. So the first boon he selected is Shanta Sankalpaha Sumana Yatha Syat Vitamanyuhu Gautamo Maapi Mrityo Tvat Pritsrustam Ma Abhivadet Pratiti Etatrayanam Prathamam Varam Brune. This is the first boon I want to choose, O death of God, O God of death. Out of the 3, the first one is my father Gautama. Gautama means belonging to the Gotra of Gautama Maharshi. Even this Vajasrava Suddhalaka belongs. So this Gautama, my father, may become free from anxiety. His mind should be very cool, calm and tranquil. He should be very happy, free from anger on me. Because of the anger he sent me to you. So he should not have such anger on me. And moreover, he should recognize me as myself, as Nachiketa, his younger son. He should recognize me when I would be sent by you to my father. See how many conditions he kept. So all these are the separate boons in one boon, clubbed. The bunch of boons he selected. So in this boon, many points are there. Nachiketa asked that he should be sent to his father's place, that is to Bhuloka. His father sent him to Yamaloka, and in the same manner, Yama also should send him back to his house, to Bhuloka, to his father's place. That is first boon he selected. The first point in first boon. Now the second point is, normally whoever enters into Yamaloka, with the body nobody can enter. But this boy got the capacity to enter into Yamaloka with this physical body, gross body, Stula Sirira, because he already got the knowledge of that Nachiketa Agni, which he is going to select as second boon, because he observed several times when his father is doing that Agni Chayana. So he got this power. And second reason is because his father, who is already a Brahmajnani and Karmisti, with his Tapobala, he sent this boy. So that is the second reason to come with this body, physical gross body. And so he said that second point is, with this same body, he should reach his father, because the time difference would be there in from Bhuloka to Swarga or any other lokas. They are all different residents. The time would be changing. We know the case of Revati Devi, who married Balarama. Actually, Revati Devi's father takes her to Brahmaloka to request him to tell about a suitable husband to this girl. And by the time they reached there and they came back, several kalpas have passed away. several yugas have passed away. That is the time gap. So though they went during Kruta Yuga, now they came here at the time of Sri Krishna Paramatma, and Balarama is the Vara to Revati, and all we know that time. So what Nachiketa said is, such time should not have any power on his gross body. He should go as it is. As he came here, just he has spent 3 days and immediately he's going as if he went to neighbor's house and came back like that. Then this is another point. And also he said that his father should be Vitamanyu. He should not have any anger. And that is when his mind is very cool and happy. And also said that his father's mind should be cool, tranquil, and happy and pleasant. That would be possible only when the desired fruit of the karma, that Viswajit Yaga, obtaining to which he performed that yaga, if that yaga is fulfilled, if his father obtains the full result of that yaga, then only his mind will be very happy, very cool and calm. That is, Nachiketa is asking that his father's performing this Viswajit yaga should be fulfilled. So see how many points he kept in his mind, and in one desire he asked all this. Then Yamadharma Raja granted. So nearly 4 or 5 points are there. And 5th point is, in fact, he asked Yamadharma Raja to send him back to his father. If unless Yamadharma Raja sends him, Nachiketa cannot go by his own accord, because his father sent, he came. So Yamadharma Raja should and must, he should send him. So this is another condition. So this boon is purely related to worldly aspirations, worldly relationships, body relationships, father, son and all. And also it belongs to the enjoyments of this world. Laukika, we can say, related to Loka. And this boon Yama granted. Yama said, Yatha Purastad Kavita Pretita Audalaki Rarunihi Mat Prisrustaha Sukham Ratrihi Shayita Vita Manyuku Tvam Dadru Shivan Mrityu Mukhat Premuktam. Being released by me, the Mrityu, having recognized you as it is, your father Audala Karuni will be possessed of affection for you as he used to have formerly, as he was behaving with you with the same affection. He will take you into his lap, and because he will be more happy, because he finds you living from the becoming free from the clutches of Yamadamstras. So he will be very happy and he will not have any anger. And with my anugraha, your father will sleep happily for many more nights. So thus he, and also he will become overjoyed by seeing you. Thus he granted this boon. Now Nachiketa asked for second boon. This second boon is related to hereafter. That is, after leaving this body, the soul goes somewhere. So related to those higher worlds, those higher lokas. Now this is the second boon. First one is lower, related to the world. Second one belongs to higher regions and higher lokas. So that is called as Amushmika Sukha, Aihika and then Amushmika. Then he said, Swarge loke na bhayam kimcha nasti, na tatratvam na jaraya bibheti, uphe tirtva ashanaya pipase, shokatigo modate swargaloke. Sattvam agnim swargya madhye shimrutyo, prebruhi tvam srardhathanaya makyam, swargaloka amrutatvam bhajantam. Etadvitiyena vrune varena. This is the second boon I am selecting, that in the heaven, normally there is no fear at all of jara, marana, vyadhi, adhis and all. And because you are not there, says Nachiketa, because you are not there in Swarga, they will not have any sort of Jara Marana Bhayas, and they will be eternal. They will be enjoying. They do not have hunger and thirst. Akali Dapika, we say this hunger and thirst will not afflict gods, even though we consider that we are offering havish and they are swallowing, taking amrita. That is to improve their vigor and power and that divinity in them. So they enjoy, they have already crossed all the sorrows and miseries, so they never get afflicted by them, and they will rejoice at the heavenly abode. So, O God of death, Yamadharmaraja, you are of such sort that you know that fire which leads to heaven. By worshipping which fire one can reach heaven, one can get divinity in him. That is, this Manava should be able to become Daiva. So that fire I want to know. I am having utmost Shraddha. Shraddha is having confidence in the Shastra Vachana and Guru Vakyas. So because I am a Shraddhalu, I have full faith in you and in Shastras and Agni Aradhana. So you please instruct me about that Agni, which by worshipping which one can reach the heavenly abode. So this is the second desire. So because the dwellers of heaven, they got immortality. So this is second boon. Then Yamadharmaraja is replying, Prate bravimi tadute nibodha swargyam agnim nachiketaha prajanan anantalokapti matho pratishtham vithitvametam nihitam guhayam. He says, O Nachiketa, being well awake of the fire that is kindled, in fact, because this fire which is the conductive to heaven, which can take the worshipper to heaven, that I will tell you. So that very thing you understand with attention, because attentiveness is most important to receive the jnana, any sort of jnana. Meant for attainment of the heaven, this fire worship. So be attentive and listen to it. This is the support to all the living beings of the world, this Agni Aradhana. So know it to be established in the intellect of the enlightened people. This fire god or the worship of this fire, it is there in the enlightened souls. So it is by knowing this fire, the chains of bondage would be loosened. The bonds will become loose so that a person becomes free to travel towards heavenly abode. So God of death told him of that fire, that is the source of the world, the class and number of the bricks, how many bricks are to be used in that Vedic altar, and the length, breadth, Vaishalya, we say, that how the Vedic altar is to be prepared. First, he explained all the angles and which are given in our Sulba Sutras. So that knowledge he instructed for this, because for doing different yagas, different types of Vedic altars are needed. So for this Agni Chayana, how that altar is to be prepared is instructed to him with all dimensions of bricks and all. Then also the procedure as to how to do this Agni Chayana, offering what sort of oblations, havis, which are to be put into that fire, and with what mantras. Even all the mantras he explained, and he completely showed the whole procedure and explained, advised, Upadesha we say. Then he said, then after completely listening to this instruction of Agni Chayana, Nachiketa fully repeated whatever he has heard from his guru. Completely he understood everything, and Nachiketa repeated the verbatim fully as it is. So by that, Yamadharmaraja was very much pleased. He became very happy seeing the methas of this boy. He is Ekasantagrahi. He got the grasping power and he could retain it. And he got the capacity to even repeat without leaving even a single letter, a word. So, Tucha Tapaka, we say, thus he repeated. So, Yamadharmaraja, he is very much pleased. He said, "O Nachiketa, out of favor towards you, now I grant you another boon. This is not the third boon. This is a sub boon which I am giving you because I am pleased by you, by your behavior and interest and sraddha. So till now this fire does not have any name. But now onwards, this fire would be called by your name as Nachiketagni. So whoever worships this Nachiketagni and does this Agni Upasana, they will be directly reaching heavenly abode. And some procedure is there. With that procedure, with Jnana, if they do, they can reach as you came here along with their Stula Sharira. That is the boon he gave, keeping conditions. But this Agni Aradhana will certainly makes one reach heavenly abode. There is no doubt in that. Then also he gave another sub-boon. One sub-boon is Nachiketa Agni, the name given of Nachiketa. Then secondly, he offered him a necklace, a very beautiful Shrunka, he said, a chain he presented. He said, Tavaiva namna bhavitayam agnihi Shrunka chemam aneka rupam gruhana. Gruhana means you take, you accept this Shrunka, the chain, which is of aneka rupa, which is having multiple forms and multiple radiants and different colors are there in this mala, in this chain. Actually, these are we do Kalasa Puja and then Pratima Puja, Haridra, Ganapati Amavaru, Gauri Puja, etc. we do. They all are Pratikas. We say that is Pratika Puja. As the symbol of Parabrahman, we worship. As the symbol of that God whom we want to worship, we worship this idol or frame or something, Kalasha, or by doing Avakana and all. So this Agni Chayana, this Nachiketa Agni Puja is also like Pratika Upasana, symbolical worship of Parabrahman, the ultimate reality. So thus the Upanishads speak of not only Nirguna Niranjana Tattva, they also spoke of Upasanas. Many Upasanas are there in all the Upanishads. So many Vidyas are there. Then we say Agni Aradhana. Actually, Agni means Agre Nayati iti Agni, that which leads us, takes us forward. So this fire worship takes us to Nirguna Parabrahma. So that is called as Agni. So such sort of Agni, because it is very difficult to do Upasana of Nirguna Parabrahman, we worship the symbols of that Brahman. In fact, we consider sun, moon, stars, etc. all are also as the symbols of Parabrahman only. Nirguna Brahman, when becomes visible with the union of Maya, then he becomes Ishvara. He is called as Ishvara and is being worshipped. He himself is called as Hiranyagarbha Brahma. So like that. So different varieties of Vidyas are there. And Yamadharmaraja presented a Shrunka, a necklace, a chain to Nachiketa, means along with this Agni Chayana Vidya, Yamadharmaraja instructed such many more Vidyas of Upasana. There are so many Vidyas known as Dahara Vidya, then Devi Vidya, Agni Vidya, Madhu Vidya, then many other Vidyas are there. Such type of similar Upasanas he explained him that otherwise there is no necessity for Nachiketa to accept the physical chain. If it is just a stone of, just the chain of gems or diamonds also, he never cares and he is not in need of them because he already refused all. He accepted this because they are the vidyas. They are the knowledge given to him in the form of disease, also symbolical. Giving as if the chain, he gave the knowledge of other upasanas. So Vidyaya Amrutam Ashnute, we say, by Vidya one can get Amrutatva. Atma Vidya itself is the Brahma Jnana. So all the karmas give us only result only in dukkha, sorrow. Only Jnana gives us the bliss and happiness and eternal peace. Now the second boon desired by Nachiketa is of that to upasana by which one obtains such a stage wherein Jara, Marana and Garbhavasa dukkha's will not be there at all. And then Saguna Sakara upasana is first step in fact. And this Vishwarupa upasana or Pratika upasana is the second level, and Nirguna Niranjana Paratattva upasana and becoming one with that and gaining that Brahma Jnana, that is the final stage of acquiring the real knowledge and ultimate goal. So Brahma upasana, it is the Saguna Brahma upasana in the form, Nirguna Brahma upasana in the form of Saguna Brahma upasana as Pratika upasana. We can consider all these are Vaidika upasanas only explained in our Vedas. Now Nachiketas knows about this Agni Vidya because he was watching when his father was performing all the yagas. So he already got this knowledge, and when Yamadharma Raja is instructing this jnana to him, he felt as if he is recollecting, remembering what he has already learned. So he could immediately repeat that with verbatim fully, that Agni Vidya. So unless this Agni Vidya is there to a person, that person can never step in Yamaloka, even though anybody may send, even the body should have the capacity. Arjuna also, when he did this tapas for gaining Pasupata Astra, Paramasiva embraces Arjuna so that the body would become eligible to enter into Swargaloka. That is why with this physical gross body, Stula Sarira, Arjuna could enter into Swargaloka and sat on the throne of Indra and all that, you know, in Bharata. So actually, this Nachiketa asked Yamadharma Raja to instruct him about the Adhidaivika Agni Aradhana, because Agni is also Adhyatmika Agni there in us, in our body, in the form of Jataragni. Then Adhi Bhautika Agni is there in the form of Vaishvanara Agni. Then Adhi Daivika Agni is in Virat Swarupa. Virat means Viswarupa. So that Agni, he wanted Yamadharma Raja to teach him about Adhi Daivika Agni, Virat Swarupa Agni Deva. And then if this Nachiketa Agni is worshipped, then anybody, they will be able to enter into heaven or any other worlds, Yamaloka also, and any other higher regimes, higher levels. Then, so those who three conditions are there, they should have the knowledge of this fire, Agni Chayana, and second one is they should be completely following the instructions and words and commands of their mother, father, and Acharya. That is a condition. Till that time, they must have been following the words of all Mata, Pita, Acharya, Gurudeva. And those who undertake three karmas, three works, then only they could cross over this death and getting the knowledge of that fire god who is actually omnipotent, omnipresent, and who is present in this world and above this world and all. That is who is the representative of Parabrahman, we say. So one who is who has performed 3 karmas. Now, what are the 3 karmas? They are Veda Adhyayana. One should do Veda Adhyayana throughout the life as per Shastra. To whichever Veda Bhaga he belongs, he has to do. Then Vaidika Yajna Yagadi Anushtana, he should do, second one. Then third karma is doing charity, giving away, dana, datrutva. If these 3 are there, they should worship 3, they should do 3 karmas, and then having the knowledge of Agni Chaina, then they would be eligible to reach Swarga. Trinachiketa Stripirechya Santihi Trikarma Krut Tarati Janma Mrityu Brahma Jajnam Deva Medium Viditva Nichayemagum Shanti Matyantameti. So, such a person is eligible to enter there, and he will be free from any sort of Janma Mrityus and all, and he will be enjoying the utmost tranquility and peace of mind. Then if this Shrunka also is said that this is the chain of the Vidyas and not just ordinary chain of anything. So Yamadharmaraja, because he is very much pleased by the Shraddha of Nachiketa, he gave these 2 sub-boons, and then this Shrunka, Adisankara Bhagavad-pada, in his Bhashya, he explains this Shrunka as Shabdavatim, Gunamayim, Ratnamayim, Akutsitam, Karmamayim, Shrunkam. This is the Shrunka, which is Shabdavati. In fact, all these adjectives can be explained with reference to, in connection with both a gem, that is the diamonds or gems, the stones, and also the Vidyas. These can be narrated, explained. So Nachiketa received this knowledge, which is of Vag Swarupa Brahman, Vag Brahma. This is Shabdavati, and also Gunamayi, endowed with all traits, good traits of Brahman. Then Ratnamayi, shining, lustrous and transparent. Knowledge is always transparent. Then Akutsita, Kutsitas are not at all there in it. And then Karmamayi, in the sense, because this is karma only, this Yajna, Agni Chayana. So this is of that sort. Then some may get doubt here that the Upanishad is actually spoken to be Brahma Vidya. When it is Brahma Vidya, it has to instruct only Brahma Vidya. Then why this story of this Nachiketa is narrated here, and then he is desiring worldly desires, Amushmika desires and all. Why Upasana? Because that belongs to Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. So actually the reply we can say is the Vedas speak, even Upanishads, in the beginning they speak about karma and then make the people realize the temporariness of those karmas and the result they are going to get. And they explain about the greatness and eternality of that jnana. So it is to make the Brahma Jnana shine in the hearts of the sadhakas, to realize the importance of Jnana. So unless a person practices all these karmas and realizes that the fruits of karmas are only temporary, even if they reach the highest goal, Brahma Bhuvana Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna, says Krishna Paramatma. Even if we reach up to Brahma Loka, even Brahma Deva, God creator, has to come back. He has to leave his position. He cannot get mukti unless he attains jnana. So, and also another thing is, one cannot get Brahma Jnana. One never becomes eligible to receive Brahma Jnana if either the father or the Acharya is on angry with him, with the disciple, for whatever may the reason be. So both of them should always be blessing the child and having favor towards the disciple to receive Brahma Jnana. That is why he requested for Vitamanyu and all. It is also essential to know the limitedness of karma phalas, and all these are only temporary. tatkalikas. And so with this knowledge, if the sadhaka discriminates properly, then only the real viveka and vairagya enter into him. So with viveka, when he discriminates, he will get vairagya. So when real detachment is there, then he becomes eligible to receive jnana. So that is why all this procedure is being followed even in this Kathopanishad, so that he should become, Nachiketa should become eligible to receive Brahma Jnana Upadesha. When he crosses all these steps and discards them, he should say that I am not in need of them. This Agni Chaina, he requested, he asked for not himself, for the sake of Loka Kalyana, for other normally ordinary Sadharana Manava Sadhakas. So through this Agni Upasana, one can get liberated through Jnana, after getting Jnana. So now Yamadharmaraja asked Nachiketa, that is through this story of this Kathopanishad, the Upanishad wanted to teach us how to reach that place where one can get the Brahma Jnana. Now, Yamadharmaraja asked Nachiketa to tell about his third boon. Then he said, Nachiketa replied, his desire is only one, and that now he kept in front of his guru. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushe asti cheke nayam astiti cheke etad vidyam anusishtas svayaham varanamesha varastrutiyaha. This doubt that arises consequent on the death of a man, somebody say it exists and some others say it does not exist. I would like to know this under your instruction, whether really the soul, as we say, the Atma, does it exist or it does not exist? So this I want to know as third boon through your instruction. This I have selected as third boon, that is, he has selected Atma Jnana. He wanted to know Atma Tattva and to have Brahma Jnana. Then Yamadharmaraja, he is not ready. In fact, for Acharyas, they must test the eligibility of Sishyas. Whoever approach and request to teach Brahma Jnana, they should not give. Even for ordinary Mantropadeshas also, it is there given in the Shastras that unless they examine the capability and sincerity and eligibility of the person who approached, the Guru should not give mantras directly. Then Brahma Jnana, how can he give? So, in fact, this we wanted to know, this Nachiketa, through this question, he wanted to know what is Atma, Jivatma, what is Brahman, Paramatma, and what is this nature, what is the relation in between. So he wanted to know that, that is, he is directly asking Brahma Jnanopadesha. Now, in fact, this one question of Nachiketa needs the explanation of all these, which include Karma Siddhanta, Punarjanma Siddhanta also, in fact, which is the basis of the origination of all Shaddarsanas. Not only Trimata, so many matas, opinions, also darshanas, etc., all came into existence. They were given by Maharshis to us contemplating on these points. So we are already told that one should be endowed with Sadhana Chatushtaya to get Brahma Jnana. So Yamadharmaraja also wanted to test the eligibility and also the firmness of the mind of Nachiketa, how far he is having Chitta Suddhi. Then Nachiketa got actually the Nitya Vastu Viveka, which is made clear by this very question of asking about Brahman, because he could discriminate what is Shasvata, what is Ashasvata. He wanted to know about the Shasvata Tattva, Amrutatva. So by birth, in fact, he is Jnani, like Prahlada. So he got the Ihamutra Phalapoga Viraga also, the second condition also is fulfilled. By this, it is made clear that he refused what all temptations are kept in front of him by Yama. he refused. So that is clear. Now the third qualification is Chamadamadi Shatka Sampatti. And even that is proved that Nachiketa is possessing them also. That is why he could stay and wait Yamatharmaraja 3 days very happily, even without eating or drinking or sleeping and all. So that is Shamadamas only. Then Mumuksha, fourth qualification, eligibility. So he is real Jignasi. He is real Mumukshi. That is why he requested to gain Brahmajnana and wanted to be taught Brahmajnana. So he is having all these 4 qualities in him, yet Yamatharmaraja wanted to confirm it. So Yamatharmaraja said, Devairatrapi vichikitsitam kila nahi suvigneyam anuresha dharmaka anyam varam nachiketo vrunishva mamoparutsi ratima srujainam. With regard to this, even gods got so many doubts. This subject is very subtle, very difficult to understand. So it is not truly comprehended. So Nachiketa, you please ask for some other boon and do not force me, don't compel me to instruct about this self, which is very difficult to grasp. Then immediately Nachiketa replied, oh, even gods are having doubts with regard to this Atma Jnana, then it should be certainly known. And you are the right guru, correct acharya to speak me. And this boon is the real boon. This is my third boon which I want to select. I will not move hither, thither. There is no other boon which is equivalent to this, which is coming closer to this. So we can assume that Nachiketas might have thought that Yamatharma Raja is the proper guru for him and he is the most worthy disciple to receive this jnana from him. So I select this as my third boon, he said firmly. Devairatrapi vichikitsitam kila. Oh, gods also got the doubt with regard to this. Tvamcha mrityo yanna sugneya mata. Vakta chasya twadru kanyo nalapyaha. There is no other person who is equivalent to you in speaking this jnana. Na anyo varastulya etasya kashchit. There is no other boon which is comparable to this boon. So when he said like this, then although Nachiketa said all these very firmly, yet Yamatharma Raja is trying to tempt him, lure we say. So he wanted to keep so many list of enjoyments which he will grant to him so that he may get tempted. Suppose he gets tempted, he is not worthy to receive Brahmajnana. Now he said, Yamatharma Raja, Setayushaha putra pautran vrunishva Bakun Pashun Hasti Hiranmaya Hiranyam Ashwan Bhumer Mahadayatanam Vrunishva Swayam Cha Jiva Sharado Yavadichasi Ye Kamaha Durlabha Marchaloke Sarvan Kaman Chandasaha Prarthayasva. O Nachiketa, ask for many sons, grandsons that will be granted by me, and ask for elephants or horses, gold, vast land, earth, which you can rule happily. I will grant you all those boons, and also I will grant you as many longs of years as you want to live on this earth. I'll grant you that longevity also. And then I will give you whatever you want and which are not possible to be obtained in this world, Bhuloka, which can be obtained from other heavens and all, like Rambha, Urvasis, etc. Maybe Amrita also like that. He tempted that he will give all those the kamas which are not fulfilled here on this earth also, I will make you fulfill. So whatever things there be that are desirable but difficult to be obtained here in this world, he said he will grant. Then Swargaloka, Sukhas and all. So by listening to these offers given by Yamatharma Raja, Nachiketa was not at all perturbed. He is not at all disturbed. He did not fall in that moha. So, Shobhava Martyasya Yadanta Kaitat Sarvendriyanam Jarayanti Tejaha Api Sarvam Jeevitam Alpameva Tavaiva Vahastava Nritya Gite. He said, "Oh God of death, Yama, all these things and enjoyments about whom you spoke, all are they are all ephemeral. They just belong to this world, and so they are temporary. They give only tatkalika sukha, not real happiness. They are useless, waste. They eat away the vigor and power of our sense organs. If we enjoy anything, it means we are losing our vigor, our capacity and power of indriyas. So the life of human beings is very short. Even though you grant a very long life also, what is the use of that life? What I will do? Even that would be temporary, not permanent. So let the dancers, the Nritya Geetas, Vadyas and all, what all you have said, you keep with you only. Because you all are gods, you need them. You may get satisfied, but I will never get satisfied. In fact, a wise person will never get satisfied with the physical wealth or enjoyments of this world. Now that I have met you, I met you who are the god of death. So it is certain that I already got the longevity. I have already given, the moment I saw you, I got the boon of getting very long life to stay here on this earth. And also I got the utmost properties, prospects of the world also. Now I want to obtain the real prosperity, that is the Brahma Jnana. So Varastute Varaniyaha Sayeva. He said, I choose only that boon as my boon, the Atma Jnana or Brahma Jnana. So that is worthy. So he prayed, Na vittena tarpaniyo manushyo lapsyamahe vittam adrakshma eva adrakshma chetva जीविष्यामो यावदीशिष्यसि त्वं वरस्तु मे varaniyah sa eva. So thus Nachiketa stood firm in his decision and said, Atidirkhe jivite ko rameta, who will enjoy those unwanted temporary things in life, though the life may be very long. Even then, it is an end. There is an end to all these enjoyments. So, who got discriminative power and who always aspire to reach the higher levels. Every human being, though in the lowest level, he wants to reach the higher levels and higher levels. So even I want to reach the highest level to obtain the Paramagamya of our life. That is moksha, the Brahma Jnana and Atma Jnana. So I am not going to be tempted by the lure of sons or grandchildren, this wealth, bhogas, enjoyments, this, that and all. I am not in need of them. I don't want them. We can consider this mantra sloka to be, that is wherein Nachiketa replied very wonderfully and very bluntly that the most, the sublimity of the life is aspired in this sloka. So this sloka, which I am going to recite now, would be considered, can be considered as the most important sloka among the slokas of first valli of Prathamachyaya. So that sloka is, it is their first 28 sloka. Ajiryatam amrutanam upechya jiryan martyaha kvathastaha prejanan abhichyayan varnarati premodan atidirthe jivite ko rameta. This is that mantra wherein he says, having reached the proximity of the undecaying immortals, what decaying mortal would dwell on the lower region, the earth, but knows of higher goals, will take delight in a long life while conscious of worthlessness and uselessness of all these music, disport and joy thereof. So please stop trying to tempt me, who am not at all going to be tempted by your words for anything. So please teach me what for I prayed you, the knowledge of Atman. Now, in the concluding mantra sloka of first valli of Prathama Adhyaya, Shruti Mata is saying, it is not Nachiketa did not say, Shruti itself is saying, praising the firmness of the mind of Nachiketa. Yasmin idam vichikitsanti mrityo yet samparaye mahati bruhi nastat. This sentence is spoken by Nachiketa. Now the second one. Yoyam varo gudhamanu pravisto nanyam tasman Nachiketa vrunite na anyam varam Nachiketaha vrunite. This is the statement given by Shrutimata, that Nachiketa will not choose any other boon except Atma Jnana. Here ends the first valli of first Adhyaya. Now second valli of first Adhyaya starts with the very beautiful beginning of appreciation of the teachings of Yamadharma Raja to Nachiketas, explaining about the twofold path which is in front of all human beings. That is, the wisdom lies in selecting either of that. Those two paths are Shreyo Marga and Preyo Marga. So Dharmaraja tested thoroughly the disciple Nachiketa and found him to be fit, worthy to receive the ultimate jnana. So now he started his real instruction. First he praised Nachiketa, praises the greatness of Brahma Jnana, and then speaks about the characteristics, lakshanas of Atman and Brahman, and then imparts that knowledge to him. Anyat Shreyaka, Anyad Utaiva Preyaka, Te Vuphe Nanarthe Purusham Sinitaka, Tayo Shreyaka Adadanasya Sadhu Bhavati, Heyate Arthadya Yahu Preyo Vrunite. There are two ways in the life, the Shreyo Marga and Preyo Marga. Both of them got different purposes. Both try to catch hold of all human beings. That is, they come on the way of our life. He who takes the path of Shreyas obtains auspiciousness, and he who gets attracted by prayers and follows that slips down from Parama Purushartha of life, moksha. Then Shreyas is of the nature of Jnana, and prayers is of the nature of ignorance, Ajnana, and Karma Anusthana. Most of the people cling to the pleasures of the world. They select Preyo Marga. 99.9% people select Preyo Marga, whereas only half point people may select Brahma Jnana. So the Preyo Marga leads to Janma Parampara. The Shreyo Marga leads to Mukti, the final aim, moksha. So Shreyascha Preyascha Manushya Metastau Samparicha Vivinakti Dhiraka Shreyo ki dhiro abhipreyaso vrunite. Preyo mando yoga kshemat vrunite. So the preferable and pleasurable, these are the two ways approach man, that is human beings. Wise man, the dhiraka, having considered them, separates the two and selects the Shreyo Marga, the preferable Marga, the path. The non-intelligent one, that is the Manda Buddhi, falls in the temptations of Preyo Marga, enjoyments, and selects Preyo Marga and tries to get Yoga Kshemas, the growth and protection of perishable body and enjoyments. O Nachiketa, you have selected Shreyo Marga, which though appears as if difficult to follow at present, but gives eternal happiness and bliss forever. That is Shashvata Ananda. Then on the contrary, the Preyo Marga appears very beautiful and gives pleasure now, but in long run, it gives sufferings for a very long time. So they are like Vidya and Avidya, luster and darkness. You are aspiring for the enlightenment. Avidyaya mantare vartamanaka swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaka damdramyamanaha pariyanti mudhaha antenaiva niyamana yathantaha. Living in the midst of ignorance and considering themselves as very intelligent and wise and enlightened, the people, that is senseless people, the mudhas, they go round and round, just as being led. A blind person led by and guided by another blind person. They will be moving, they cannot reach the goal, the aim. So because of this ignorance, the means for attaining attainment of even the higher regions is also becomes impossible. Then how can they attain Shreyas, the Nishreyas moksha? So among thousands of people, it is only one like you, Nachiketa, who hankers after the preferable Shreyo Marga and becomes a knower of self. Brahman. The same is said even in Bhagavad Gita by Sri Krishna Paramatma. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatamape siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Then Upanishad says, Shravanayapi bahubhiryo nalapyaha. Shrunvantupi bahubhiryo na vidyuhu. Ascharyo vakta kushalosya labdhva ascharyo jnata kushalanusishtaha. Many people could not even get the chance of hearing about that Atma. Many people, though they hear, could not understand, can never understand about that Tattva correctly. So the person who speaks about it and the one who wants to receive it, both are very difficult to be seen in this world. So it is really very wonderful to find them. Ascharya. So that too, everybody cannot teach this Brahma Jnana. So the self is not correctly, adequately known when spoken by an inferior person who does not have the Brahma Jnana Anubhava. So he is called as Avara, not Shrestha, inferior. Just as the swan got the capacity to differentiate the milk and water separately when that is given as a mixture. So the wise person discriminates what is eternal, what is not eternal, temporary. So one should try to get the Shaswata Ananda. So he is the Shrestha person, Shrestha Acharya, who got the experience of that Brahman and then teaches to the Sishyas. So the mantra says that the Guru and Sishya both should be Kushala. That is skillful, very sharp-minded. The word Kushala is explained as Kushan Lati iti Kushalaha. Kusha is a variety of Darpa. Kusha, Lava, this, that and all. They are all varieties of Garika. So one who is very skillful in plucking the kusha grass, whose edges are very sharp and they will prick the hand and even blade may come out. So they are so sharp. So without getting wounded, he who is capable of plucking and getting these kusha grass is called as Kushali, having that Kaushala, Nerparitana we say. So one whose mind is as sharp as that of the edge of kusha is Kushagra Buddhi, we say. Now, this Nachiketa is of that sort, and that Yamadharma Raja is also of that sort. Another meaning of the word Kushala is Kutsitam Tyajati iti Kushalaha. One who has abandoned Kutsitas and Durbuddhis, Durvasanas and all. So, those who leave away all the worldly affairs and alone they travel towards divinity and spirituality. They are the Kushalas. So Vara also means Shrestha, Varanamesha Varastritiyaha. Among all the best boons, this is the most important boon he has selected. Avara means na narena avarena proktaha yesha suvigneyaha, says the Upanishad. When taught by one who has become identified with I, there is no further cognition with regard to it. So for this, Atma is beyond argumentations, being very subtle, even subtler than even atomic quantity. Anu, we say. So that Atma should be taught by such a person who realized the soul as non-different to him. He must have had the experience that he himself is Atma. Then only he gets that eligibility to teach. Because Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati says Upanishad several times. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman, then only he can teach about Brahman. So that is, there are no two entities or two persons. What exists is Brahman alone. You are non-different to Atma. So the one who knows that he is non-different to Atma can instruct the disciple that you are Atma, you are not the body, and teach about the characteristics of Atman. Jagal Lakshanas we say, and then Atma Lakshanas, Brahma Lakshanas and all. Now the Acharya is Dharma Devata. He is praising the disciple, saying that Twadruk no Nachiketaha Prasta. A questioner should be like you. So I will instruct you. Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya, he says. This soul cannot be obtained by just reasoning and talking with Tarkika Jnana. Being taught by one who is well versed in Upanishadic knowledge and experience that Brahman, one gets that knowledge. So this eternal knowledge cannot be taught by temporary means. The permanent knowledge cannot be explained by impermanent things. So that which is eternal could be known by only eternal, not by temporary. So I have attained this relatively permanent position by the upasana of that fire, because I know that this wealth, enjoyments, etc., all these are anitya, they are temporary. Even then, I just wanted to tempt you. By anitya, one can never get nitya. By nitya, one can get nitya. By doing yajna yaga, the karmas whose fruits are anitya, one can never attain mukti, the permanent eternal paramatma sthiti. So when compared to other worldly, this physical worldly enjoyments, the heavenly worldly enjoyments are greater and they live for a very long time when compared to this. So they are called as amritatva, eternal and all. But when compared with Brahma Tattva, Brahma Jnana, they are also temporary. They are not permanent. Even this Yamatva, Devatva, Devendratva, they are all temporary, not eternal. So, O Nachiketa, and becoming enlightened, you have rejected even the end of all the desires. Most final attainable position of all karmas, the Hiranyagarbha Loka also. So, you are desirous of only Supreme Brahman. So really, oh Nachiketa, I am very much inspired and I am very much surprised. And you are the you possess unsurpassable capacity, quality. So you are endowed with such gunas. So tam durdarsham gudham anupravishtam guhahitam gakvareshtam puranam Adhyatma yoganugamenna matva devam matva dhiro harsha shokau jahati. So by that is one becomes free from the pleasures and sorrows, who meditates upon that ancient Sanatana Parabrahman, which is very difficult to be seen, which is very subtle, which is staying in the cave of the intellects of intelligent people, which is residing in the bodies, that is upadhis of all living beings, that is the upadhis possessing all sense organs, mind and all, and got the nature of decay. This body and senses got the nature of decay, but this soul, Atma, resides in these bodies. So the source of all miseries, this body, but the Atma never experiences that. Even then it resides there and gives strength to it, lives there as Sakshi. So that Atma can be known by only Adhyatma Yoga. Even this is taught by Bhagavad Gita only. By Antarmukhatva, penetrating deep into ourselves. The sense organ should not fall on the objects of enjoyment. So by listening to the teachings about Brahma Jnana, Brahman, he who sees himself, separates himself from this body, and having obtained Brahman, he rejoices. So, O Nachiketa, the door of the building of Brahman, Brahma Jnana is wide open to you. So you can enter into it. Then listening to these words of Yamadharmaraja, Nachiketa once again requested him to teach him about the Tattva, which is seen and experienced by Yamadharmaraja, which is different from virtue and vice. different from cause and effect, karya karana bhinna, and different from past and future, which is different from kruta and akruta, which is done and which is not done. That is karya karana. So this whole universe is krutam, it is done, it is the karya. So the cause is karta, the paramatma. So that which is beyond all these, which is seen by you, oh Yama, you please tell me about that. So this is once again Nachiketa requested the same request. He repeated, and then Dharmaraja is about to tell this Brahma Tattva. The time is going, but so many very beautiful mantras are there. The Acharya now started to explain Sarve Veda Yad Padam Amananti Tapamsi Sarvani Cha Yad Vadanti Yad Ichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om Ichetat. Now he is speaking about Omkara, which is to be considered as Shabda Brahman, and which is the channel through which one can meditate upon Nirguna Brahman. So he said, I will tell you briefly of that goal, which is Paramagamya to all beings, and about which all the Vedas with one voice propound, which is which all the austerities, penance, tapas speak of, and wishing for which people practice Brahmacharya. That goal is syllable Om, the single letter Om. Om, it is the attainable goal, is Brahman. And this Omkara is the symbol of representative of that Brahman. So because Nirguna, Niranjana, Nirakara, Tattva, Paramatma cannot be meditated upon, cannot be seen or experienced, the Vedas, Upanishads spoke about that Brahman in the form of Omkara. So actually Mandukya Upanishad explains very widely about this Omkara, how the whole universe came from this Omkara. Now, Etadyeva Aksharam Brahma, Etadyeva Aksharam Param, Etadyeva Aksharam Jnatva Yo Yedichati Tasya Tat. So the letter Om indeed is Brahman. The Brahma, the Chaturmukha Brahma, Hiranyagarbha Brahma, and also this Om itself is indeed the supreme Brahman, the Nirakara Nirguna Parabrahman. Both, it is the same. Anybody who ever meditates upon this letter Omkara wants to, if they want to reach Brahma, they can reach. If they want to attain Brahman, they can reach, they can gain. It is well known that if one utters this word, it reveals the itself and what it signifies. If we say mother, Mata, then her form appears in front of our eyes. Then what all love she showed on us, what all good nature qualities are there in her, they will appear in front of us. Similarly, when we utter the word Om, immediately that Brahman will appear in front of us. That is the Pratika Upasana, we say. The Nirguna Nirakara Niranjana Brahman is Om, then which is considered as Shabda Brahman. By Om, we must meditate upon ourselves as Aham Brahmasmi. That Om is we, ourselves, the self which is existing in us. The Jnanis and first category Sadhakas who have already got a sort of maturity can concentrate and contemplate upon Nirguna Brahman. But middle category people, sadhakas who have reached just a little higher stage, they can superimpose Brahman on Om and meditate upon it. Then the beginners, the starters who are in first stage of sadhana, they can use this Om as the pratika symbol. So this is called a pratika upasana, because ordinary people cannot concentrate on Nirguna Brahman. Our Maharshis gave us this method of worshipping Saguna Sakara Brahman and reaching Nirguna Brahman. So the Kathopanishad is teaching us such method of upasanas also in the form of this fire worship and worship of syllable Om and all. Etad alambanam sreshtam, etad alambanam param, etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke makiyate. So to take the support as Om is the best. This is the supreme. By meditating upon Hiranyagarbha Brahma Nirguna, and also Nirguna Brahman, when mixed with Maya Shabalita Brahman is Chaturmukha Brahma or Hiranyagarbha Brahma. So one can worship him. If he worships him, he reaches that abode. If he concentrates on Brahman, Nirguna Brahma, he becomes Brahman himself. So thus the nature of the self, which has Om as its Alambana, is described in the following mantra slokas. The characteristics of Brahman are described in a very beautiful manner. Still, if we speak at least 8 or 9 mantras, then this only will be completed, and then 4 more vallis are there, which are containing similar such beautiful ideas, beautiful mantras. So in fact, if we get not only tomorrow, if we get another day, we can go in detail. Otherwise, if we have to complete tomorrow, then we will not be able to complete even 1/10. But just the idea, because you have already reached the stage to gain the Brahma Tattva and the characteristics of Brahman, how to reach that. So you could have understood the idea, and maybe all of you might have studied Bhagavad Gita also. Many mantra slokas which are given here are given there in Gita also. So if we understand the essence of one grantha, one Upanishad, we can understand the essence of all granthas and all Upanishads. If another one more day will be there, we can go in detail. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll try to cut short and complete it. Swasti for today.
Okay, ధన్యవాదములండి. I think 1/10 means another 10 days are required. What we do is we'll put it in the 3rd level. Tomorrow you try to conclude whatever
Yes.
way. Then we will plan this in the 3rd level in detail for 10 days.
Need not other Upanishads also at 3rd level. Prasna Upanishad I will explain. Then either Chandogya, Burhadaranyaka or Aitareya as per Dr. CSR Prabhu's wish. And then Kathopanishad also beautiful, a few mantras we can just revise there, continue. Other Upanishads also are very much needed.
If you correctly understand one Upanishad properly, others are automatically understood. So we
Yes.
will cover one properly and allow the people to understand. Then other things will try and do it. We will leave it for their research.
Yes, in Brihadaranyaka there are so many vidyas. We can just name them, mention them, and few mantras we can take, because it is very big, very big. Even if we teach for 1 month, that will not be completed. And then Chandogya Upanishad, beautiful Tattvamasi Mahavakya is there given in 9 with 9 illustrations, very wonderful. All small stories which are very interesting, which will be very interesting. And so many other stories are there in Chandogya. So many beautiful stories which teach us Brahmajnana only. So there also we enjoy a lot. Okay.
Babu garu, you want to ask that question of Saugandhi?
Pardon, sir? It's for me?
There is a question.
Yeah, there is a question. Is living a slow death? So consciously we should equip for the journey.
If we are at lower level, how to do the journey? Is it the question?
No.
Uh,
Is living a slow death? Is living slow death, and we should consciously equip for the end.
Okay, Saugandhi, let her speak. You know.
Actually, we are running out of time, but then can we take these questions tomorrow?
Yeah, we will do. You set aside some time for questions tomorrow, Mahoday.
Okay, we will go for Pradhana, otherwise
okay.
office goers will be running short of time.
Now we can complete today's questions. By to waste tomorrow's time.
Okay. Saugandhi, ask you a question.
She has to be unmuted.
She is, all are unmuted.
Namaste, Amma. I just wanted to know, that means actually our life, living is actually sort of a death, because we are going towards the end. When we are alive, we are actually dying slowly. Our time is limited. So the journey is towards death only. So what we are doing is to prepare for the final journey. Actually, this life is only for preparing for death, like it is.
No, the life is not towards journey towards death. It is not correct. What you thought is really wrong. Our journey is towards eternity, towards reaching Brahma Tattva, Parabrahman, that Nirguna state. That is to gain ourselves, to have the knowledge of our own self. This Upathi is given to us. What you said in one way, that is correct, because when the span of life is limited. So when we celebrate 1 year birthday, means 1 year will be less. When we are having, suppose 100 eatables or something, if we eat one, that will be less only. So like the span of life also, but we are not traveling towards death in the sense dying and leaving this and all. We are traveling towards.
Yeah, I understood. But we are actually preparing this whole life for the final incident of Parabrahman only, no, Amma.
Yes,
This
it is.
whole life as a journey is only for the, is only to realize. So it is like you're celebrating life, but you're dying actually every day. You're one day closer to death.
Not only one day, each and every second. In fact, the Jiva Kanas which exist in our body, they are dying and again taking birth. That is Janmas only. So in this one Janma, we are getting innumerable deaths and Janmas. But they are not at all seen by us. But even not experienced. But in due course of time, we realize that our body is getting decayed. But our soul should be elevated. We should gain that tattva, and we should be able to separate ourselves from our body. That I-ness we say, that power which is explained in Kathopanishad also in beautiful mantras, it says, Ye chakshusha na pashyati, yena chakshunshi pashyati, tadeva brahma tvam vidhi, nedam yedidam upasate. Thus it explains in all 11 mantras, all our 11 sense organs. That power which is behind our eye and is giving the capacity of sight to this physical eye, that is Brahman. By the power behind that, this eye is able to see. Not with the eye or with the mind, but the eye should be there, the mind should be there, then the prana shakti should be there, the light should be there, the visible article should be there. Even though all these are there, unless that Chaitanya, that Atma Tattva is there inherent in us, we cannot utilize any of these, but all these are needed. So that is how it should be related with all ear, nose, mouth, this, that, and all. So to
Dhanyavad.
our travel is towards eternity, towards getting Atma Jnana. That is completely spoken in all the Upanishads in one way or other.
Dhanyavad, Amma.
Dhanyavadam.
There are no more questions in the chat box.
No more questions.
Okay,
So we will go for
Prarthana.
Shanti Mantra. Prakash ji, are you there? Surya Prakash.
Yes,
So-
sir. Hello, sir. I'm there, sir.
Okay. You please chant Prarthana.
Yes, sir. ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सर्वेभ्यो नमस्कारः। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः। गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः स्वमस्तु नित्यं। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी। देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः। अदनाः सदनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम्। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः। धन्यवादः।
ధన్యవాదములండి సూర్యప్రకాష్ గారు.
ధన్యవాదాలు సార్.
Okay, now let us recite national anthem. Challa Chittibabu garu. Let us all stand up, please.
जनगण अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे
Jai Hind. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.